tabletop today. To me, being on tabletop has a sense of like getting things done or activating to do. So you might feel like you've got to like do lots of things afterwards, or you might be exhausted. I don't know, but just kind of know that that's kind of the feeling of it. So take care of yourselves, because you know, if your wrists are feeling a lot of impact, think about how your whole body helps sustain you on all fours. So just something to think about. And always paw. I mean, go to child's pose, give yourself some more wrist love. I know, Nancy, you and I have already spoken about your wrists, so you take care of yourself. And again, it's just about kind of activating in a little bit of a different fashion than being on our backs. I really like tabletop. It shows me a lot about myself in other ways that being on my back doesn't. So you'll see how that, and I'll talk about that. So one of the first things I want us to do, please mute yourselves so that any background stuff doesn't invade. And let's see. I don't know why I can't see myself. Come on. There we go. Okay, so first thing, let me just get a little bit more. There we go. So first thing, as we're sitting here, grab your hands or insert your hands and give your wrists a little swim gently and breathing through it. And it looks a little bit like a figure eight, so however it looks for you is all good. So just giving it a little wiggle, kind of telling your body that that's what's gonna happen today. We're gonna be a little bit on our wrists. I have my pillows with me. I can roll my yoga mat for extra support for my knees and my hands. So just kind of whatever you need, bring it to you today for extra support. And go the other way. I have no idea what that would look like. There it is. So go the other way with your wrist. Good. And a little shake. Good. And so one thing I want you to feel in this position, because we're going to do it also in tabletop, is if you put your hands on your belly. So this activates your transversalis muscle. So if you inhale and your belly kind of expands, and then when you exhale, your belly goes in. Do you feel that? So we're going to do that a few times. So inhale, the belly gets big, and then, and you can exhale pretty forcefully, and now the belly goes in, and then inhale and exhale. And as you see my hands go in and out. Just for you to feel this in this position, but not for you to want to pass out. One more. Okay, so we're going to do that again in tabletop in a moment. So next thing, I'm going to go profile to you. Just to get our spine also a little bit awake, I'm going to grab my lower or my upper shin, lower knee. So find a position where you can extend your arms so you're kind of hanging somewhere. So you might have to move your legs a little bit out, your feet a little bit farther out. Not too close. I don't want you here. I want you just somewhere in between. My elbow pits are facing inside. And I'm going to really hold here, and I'm going to let my belly go down and my head goes down. So I'm doing a little curve, and then bring that curve back up. And it doesn't go very far, so don't go all the way to here. So belly goes down, and I exhale on the way down because that feels good. I keep my feet on the floor, and I roll back up. My elbows stay straight, and I have to keep checking them out to make sure they don't wing, they don't flip out. So in and out, just a little lower curve here, action. Nice. And up. Again, it's not a ballistic thing. It's not like, ugh. So just kind of relaxing into that moment. You might feel a little bit of a rock on your pelvis. That's good. And I'm not thrusting into my rib cage. I'm not trying to come all the way to here. That's different. So just a little lower back action, just to kind of wake up the pelvis on the legs. Good. Oh, I'm going to do 2 more of those. It's a pretty small action, but it's all very specific in the lower back and the pelvis. Nicely done. So now we're going to go onto all fours. I spoke with somebody yesterday and I said, no, don't bring your table. She was like, do I bring my table? I was like, no. So I have to roll my little mat here for my knees. I'm going to let my feet relax. And the position I'm looking for with my hands is that my middle finger and my thumb are going to attempt to make 90 degrees. And my elbow pits are going to be facing out. So if I were to look towards you, as much as I can, I'm reaching my fingers really out away from my body. My thumbs are reaching towards each other, and I'm aiming for 90 degrees. My middle and my thumb are shaped like L's. And my elbow pits are facing forward. Can you see that? Yeah, so, and the more I really reach my hands into the floor, that's gonna help distribute the weight that I'm holding. So try not to shrink your body mind. So like, don't shrink the space that you're taking up. Already that might be a lot to go, a lot to do, so just breathe through it, and if you've got to go to child's pose, you can. And when I'm here, I'm also looking for a straight line with my hips over top of my knees, my shoulders over top of my wrists. And for the moment, I'm going to let my belly hang. So talk about needing all kinds of digestion problems since this started. So see if you can just let your belly hang for a moment. And notice as you exhale, maybe already your transversalis is being activated. So as I exhale, notice my belly goes up. As I inhale, I just let it hang out. Not very attractive, but we don't care. And then breathe out. We're going to do that a few times. And as you're here, notice that I still have the 3 curves of my spine. So I still have my lower back curve here, my pelvis, my thighs are creased in this crease. So I'm not trying to be here. I'm not trying to be all flat. I'm really trying to accentuate my 3 curves. My sit bones are really facing that back wall. And so let all this sort of hang, this lower part, and we're activating that transversalis. The rib cage is up towards the ceiling. In other words, my back, my scapula are as wide as they can be, and we're going to activate those in a few moments. So just see if you can establish this position, and if you want to keep breathing and keep making those adjustments, you can. Good. Yep. Good. So I'm going to go to child's pose, let it all go, wiggle my fingers, circle my hands, circle my wrists. And in child's pose, I'm really allowing the weight of my pelvis to go towards the floor, and the weight of my head to go down towards the floor too. So I'm moving in 2 directions again in this position, and breathing and breathing. Give your belly a nice massage on your thighs if they reach. Otherwise, just keep moving into the floor, head and tail moving into the floor. Good, wiggle your fingers again. We're gonna move back up. So I'm moving back to my tabletop position, realigning my hands. Keep noticing. Woo. Okay, from here, I'm gonna do my first rhomboid push-up. So my elbow pits are facing away from me. I'm thinking about my scapula being wide, and I'm gonna allow my scapula now to relax through my hands. And then I'm gonna push the floor away and raise it back up. I'm gonna relax my scapula towards each other and towards the floor without moving my pelvis. And then move my scapula back up. Keep doing that a few more times. If I could face you, my scapula are wide. Yep. And then as they relax, they aim to go towards each other. And then I push the floor and they move wide again. So relaxing the scapula to come towards each other and then pushing the floor so they become wide again. Keep breathing into it. Don't change your pelvis. I'm going to do a few more with you. The scapula go together. I push the floor and they go wide. Pushing them, they relax together. And then pushing the floor away. Try and keep your elbows straight. It's a really small movement, but it's very specific. Starts to show you how intense all your shoulder girdle is. I feel like this is really valuable in our tango. For those of us who dance tango, you know everything relates for me. Good, I'm gonna finish that one and I'm gonna sit back into my child's pose, give my wrists a little break. And breathing, breathing. Good. Show me a thumbs up or down. How are your wrists? Are you doing okay? Okay. Good. So let's sit up and give them a little wiggle. And let's do let's do a little pulling my fingers back. So I'm gonna get a little more oxygen moving through that carpal tunnel place. Good. Just allowing those fingers to go back. Good, and changing hands. However many fingers I can grab at this moment. Just to give a little more stretch in that area. Good, I'm gonna take my thumb and I'm gonna do a little joystick maneuver. I'm grabbing my thumb and wiggling it around. Good. And in the other direction. Good, change thumbs. And moving it around. In both directions, slowly, however you need to move it. Good, a little shake again. Let's do a few more things. I'm back in my quadruped. Now, my elbow pits are facing away from me. My elbows are straight. And now I'm going to bring my elbows, let me mention one more thing. Again, my pelvis is still in this table, to me it's like I could put a glass here, if you will, or a bowl, versus trying to take that curve away. So I really want you to have this curve. I want you to work with the curve you have. And already that might be a little intense. So just notice, and if you have to go into child's pose or do a little movement, you can. My ribs as well, I'm trying to notice that my bra line is up towards the ceiling, not so much concave, but just a little bit awake. So my arms are activated. If I'm here, this gets really hard. Do you see the difference? I'm active here. See if you can just keep noticing that. And breathing. Okay, so now my elbow pits are facing away. I'm gonna bring my elbows a little bit towards the floor. We're gonna do like 3 or 4 of these. So notice nothing else in my body moves. My butt stays up and my elbows move towards the floor. My elbows move towards the floor. And my elbows move towards the floor. And that feels like enough for me today. Good, so I'm gonna reach my right arm away, or pick an arm and reach it away from your body. Put it back down. I'm gonna reach my other arm away from my body. Reaching my fingers all the way to your fingertips. And now I'm gonna reach my toes away from my body. And I'm gonna reach my other toes away from my body. Whee! Good, put them back down. I'm gonna give my pelvis a little swim. So I'm rotating my pelvis in one circular direction. So getting a little bit of lubrication, some space, some massage into my pelvis, into that femur. So the femur is really going for a ride. My hands are still on the ground, giving them a little, supporting the weight of my body with that. And now go the other direction. Ooh, one direction always feels more weird than the other. Good. 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 Let's come back to our quadruped position. And I'm going to reach my opposite arm, opposite leg out. And come back down. Opposite arm, opposite leg. And come back down. We're going to do that a couple more times. Opposite arm, opposite leg. And come back down. Opposite arm, opposite leg. And come back down. Good. Let's do a little child's pose moment. And then we'll continue. Let your wrists relax. You can flip your arm, your forearms up, and have your hands in receiving mode. So I just flip them up. Breathing, breathing, breathing. The exhale is just as important as your inhale. Really good. Let's come back up. So this one is my newest challenge for me. So just know that I'm working on this one. It shows me a lot of imbalances in my body, and that's okay. The body is not two sides equal, as we know. So I'm going to do opposite arm, opposite leg at the same time, and I'm going to bring opposite arm, opposite leg towards each other. And I'm going to do that with my breath. So I like to inhale on the way out and exhale when they come in. Elbow is straight on that standing side. And I use my eyes to help me, support me. And I wiggle a lot, but that's okay. I'm going to do 2 more. I'm going to let that go, and I'm going to do the other side. Reaching out and bringing them in towards each other. Woo! Bring out, woo, and in. And that's me wobbling. I have one side that's much stronger than the other, and that's okay. That's why we're doing it. And out and in, and I take my eyes with me. Just feel the length in your body as you go out. And I'm going to do 2 more. I think that was 3, and I'm gonna come down. Woo, that was good. Let's go back to child's pose. Oh, and I'm gonna flip my wrists, my arms into receiving mode, palms up. And enjoy, my forehead's on the floor. Whew. Tail is moving towards the floor, head is moving towards the floor. Belly breathing on the thighs. Enjoy that little massage. Good, let's come back up. And let's thread through. I'm gonna face you. So I'm in my quadruped. I'm gonna take one hand and I'm gonna thread it underneath. Oh, we're a little stretch here. Oh, a little spinal twist. And as I'm here, now I'm gonna take my pelvis, oh, in the direction, in the opposite direction. Oh, so I get another little stretch. So as opposed to letting the hips relax over there, I'm gonna bring my hips in the other way. So I've got my arm moving in that direction and my hips moving in that direction. So again, opposition happening and a lot of breathing. Good, I'm gonna push myself up. Woo, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna thread my arm through. And I get a little snap, crackle, pop. So my arm is reaching in this direction, and I'm gonna bring my hips back the other way.
Daniela, are you sliding the hips or opening the hips when you go the other way?
I am.
Are you trying to lift or slide it?
I am sliding them. I'm thinking about sliding them. Yeah. Yes? Kind of? Did that work out? Good. Okay. Good. Let's come back up. You guys are doing really well. So, how are we doing? Good. Okay. So, stuck here. Okay. So I'm back in my quadruped. And I would love for us to do just a few push-ups just to start to build a little bit more energy here. So I'm stretching my body out just a little bit more. Think about how long, actually, I like this movement here. So let's do this. I'm doing head and tail. I often do this to kind of prep myself. We're gonna do another action like this in a moment. So I'm really thinking, send my head forward, whoops, send my tail backward. Send my head forward, whoops, send my tail backward. So a little put, this starts to really activate some nice energy. Always breathing. Good, and when I'm long again, I'm gonna just send my body down, doing 3 or 4, maybe more, whatever you've got today. And let's go back to child's pose. Whew. Good, so I'm gonna go back out. And I'm gonna show you the other version of that push-pull. Comes from Laban and Bartaniak. So we used to do this whenever we needed to, like if you needed to really get something done and you sort of felt kind of sluggish, this always really helps. So I tuck my toes underneath myself and now I do the same thing, push-pull. So activating my hands and my feet. My head goes and my tail goes the other way. Oof. You guys are gonna want to run marathons after this today. So however many you feel like you can do, and then let's let that go. Back to child's pose. Woo. Okay, one last thing, sort of, one-ish, one plus. I'm gonna get on my forearms. I'm gonna do a little plank of this nature, just to kind of now get off my hips. My hips should feel kind of tight actually from being in that quadruped for so long. So slowly get into some kind of plank. I'm on my forearms. I'm trying to pull my belly up. Sometimes I like to rock like I'm doing because we worked out pretty hard already in 30 minutes. And I'm gonna come back down. Woo, I'm gonna go to child's pose. So I'm gonna come back up. Woo, I should have taken a shower before I did this. So, I'm gonna open my arms up behind me, reaching my fingertips away from me. And my ribs, I'm letting my ribs come forward, that's okay. My scapular coming together. Should feel just a little bit of stretch through here. Good, bring my arms overhead, shake, shake, shake. Down by the side, good. I'm running out of time, thank you. And last thing, if you feel like you need to do some chest opening after this, totally go for it, be gentle. I'm gonna just take one arm behind my back. That already starts to kind of open up, and I'm gonna do the other side just in case we get cut off. Good. 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 And as before, take your time getting to vertical. You should feel pretty, do you feel kind of like, yes or no? Yeah? Okay, maybe today's the next day for cleaning. Thank you again for coming. Friday, we're gonna do standing stuff.